Often when we talk about the holidays, we talk about avoiding stress or fights with family, but today we're pivoting the focus. Instead of what to avoid, we're going to talk about the best ways to truly connect with family and friends over the holidays. Joining me with ways to make our Christmas connections deeper is Brad Schwall, President and CEO of the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology. Happy holidays. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, Brad, this segment was your idea, and I loved it, so I'm going to give you the credit, number one. But I wanted to ask you, so often we focus on the what to avoid. This is the focus on what to do. Why was that the mindset or the intention that you brought?
Because rituals and holidays bring meaning, and they also bring memories. So a ritual is a routine that has meaning, and it is a way to create memories that are positive. It's a way to connect. It's a way to focus on the moment. And sure, we talk about conflict, and we have to admit that there is that. But we do want to focus on how we can create a positive atmosphere, positive environment, and take advantage of whomever we're with.
I do think what we focus on, it grows, right? I always look at it like I'm looking through a microscope, and if I look at the bad through the microscope, that's all I see. And if I look at the good, that grows. One thing I want to ask you real quick before we get to your tips on how to actually connect is what's really neat about the holidays is it's multi-generational. Grandchildren, parents, grandparents. What do we get from that we may not get in different parts of the year?
So we get a chance to honor those who are older. We get a chance for young children to experience being around wisdom and around people who have experience. And so that is why it is so important to slow down, get rid of those phones, and take advantage of that intergenerational time together.
Okay, so Brad's here this morning to tell us exactly how to do that. We're going to talk about your first tip on how we really connect. What is that?
So for sure, focus on the moment. So phones away from the table.
I love that.
You know, our senses help us to be mindful, so taste and smell, and so creating a pleasant atmosphere for the meal, slowing down, so that way we can have conversation and we can interact. So often our minds are racing about the past or about the future. This is a time to focus on the moment.
Focus on the moment. I love the part about putting the phones away and even just taking a breath before you sit down to say, I'm lucky that I get to do this. I really want to be here. Okay, your next suggestion, what's that?
So to focus on the meaning of the holiday and to focus on doing similar things each year, keeping up those routines. Now, if there has been a loss in your family, honor that. Don't ignore it. I mean, don't just ignore the loss that happened in that year. Talk about memories. But by repeating what we do, that is what helps our kids remember. And our kids will remember things we don't expect them to remember. We can think about our own childhoods. I didn't make my rosemary cheese straws this Thanksgiving, and my kids were quite upset. So,
how dare you?
So, absolutely. So stick to what you've done before, and that builds up memory.
You know, that's so funny. Last year, my mom forgot, we call them Granny's dinner rolls because my granny would make them. And I'm still harboring resentment about that. But it is those rituals. Okay, next tip.
So guide the conversation. So talk about meaningful things. What are you grateful for? What was the best thing about your year? And give everybody a chance to share. You know, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, they often say the greatest things. Well, give them a chance to talk. Sure, have a kid table. That's fine. I kind of like everybody together.
I do too.
Also, talking about the faith stories related to what holiday you're celebrating. I was talking to a mom who's Jewish, and she was telling the story of Hanukkah, and it was fascinating to hear her tell that story. And so I can picture at a meal talking about the stories that brought us to that table. And so that way we also are teaching values. And what our therapists do at the center is we're focusing on how to build connection among families, and certainly holidays with the meaning, with faith, with spirituality are a key way to do that throughout the year.
We have 30 seconds left. You had mentioned this. If there has been a loss, there was a loss in my family, my great Aunt Joanne. How do you talk about that without bringing the mood down, but to honor that life and what was given to us?
Talk about the sadness, talk about the happy memories. So you might even ask, what do you remember about her at Christmas or the holidays? And so that way you're not ignoring it. If you're alone at the holidays, bring people in, find a way to connect, go do an act of service, be okay with that.
Yeah.
But bottom line, by honoring what we are feeling, that makes it more meaningful. The more we set aside or push back feelings, the more that it creates a difficulty in moving through and moving past that emotion.
Brad, thank you so much. I was already excited for the holidays. I'm even more so now. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.